All right, a good Wednesday. Thanks for tuning in on WFMY Plus for another weather update as we move through the morning, and a lot of cold rain still left to go across the Piedmont. First off, I want to start out showing you what we had earlier this morning. Temperatures along the Virginia border were right at the freezing mark for several hours, and of course that caused some ice accumulation, especially up on the northern part of Stokes County, right along the Virginia border and up into Virginia. Those folks had a lot of ice, almost half of an inch of ice on the trees out at Hanging Rock State Park earlier this morning. Our weather spotter Dwayne Young, of course, took this picture and told me that there were a lot of downed trees in that area, and there were some limbs and things hanging over the road and that kind of that sort of thing. So it does look like those folks had a lot more ice than we did here in the Piedmont Triad. Now, of course, you look up at our tops of the trees, you can see a little bit of ice, but not so much down below. That means we were just barely at freezing right in the tip tops of the trees at that point in the atmosphere early this morning. Thankfully, we got away without any concerns as far as slick roads and such go, but I would say be mindful, of course, as you go through the mid-morning hours. We're up above freezing now, so that shouldn't really be a problem. But bottom line, we have a lot of rain on the way, and that may slow you down for your commute as you move throughout the day. And of course, keep in mind, it's a lot of rain ponding on the roads. Of course, could cause some hydroplaning in a few spots. So cold rain is really our main concern now as we move into the afternoon. So watch out, carry along the rain gear, and just take it slow wherever you're headed as you move throughout the day. Across the Piedmont, we're actually starting to see a little bit of a lull in the action as far as our rain goes, just for a little while. So if you want to get out, walk the dog, maybe run a couple errands, maybe run out to lunch, I would encourage you to do it over the next couple of hours because we do have more rain on the way. Here's what it looks like across the Piedmont now. Just some scattered rain left over. Temperatures above freezing. Not very much, but we're sitting in the mid-30s, and that's enough to just keep this all cold rain. Like I said, we do have more on the way. Look back down to the south and west. You'll see more of this on the way into the upstate of South Carolina, now moving into our North Carolina mountains as well. And beyond that, look at what's all across the deep south. We have all of this to go before we ever dry things out. So I think it's going to take at least until early tomorrow morning in the pre-dawn hours of Thursday before this finally moves through and leaves us alone. Take a look at some of these rainfall totals. Now, this is since 12 a.m. yesterday. So we're about 36 hours in now, and you'll see most of our area is upwards of around 2 inches of rain already. 1.7 there in Burlington, 1.7 on the northeastern side of Randolph County near Liberty, 1.8 on the south side of Randolph County. You'll go back to the west a little bit. Rain totals are a little lower, a little closer to an inch in Winston-Salem, parts of Yadkin County, and of course right over the border there for Forsyth and Stokes County as well. We still have another inch or maybe an inch and a half of rain to go before we're all said and done. So this is really going to stack up to a healthy soaking of rain. We were in a drought. I think this should help us come out of that drought. I also would be concerned about some flooding up in the North Carolina mountains. Of course, an area that doesn't really need any of that. Not major flooding, but minor flooding that, of course, could cause some issues up that way. Here's the setup. Low pressure moves to the north and tracks through, bringing us another round of rain tonight into tomorrow morning, and this will drag a cold front with it. Once that front slides by, I expect we're going to start drying things out for tomorrow afternoon. There's even some sunshine coming back. It will get windy, though, as that front passes us, and the cold air is still a little bit delayed behind the front. So I think we're going to be able to make it up to around 60 for tomorrow afternoon. The cold air arrives by the time we get into Friday for your Valentine's Day. Here's a closer look at it, though, as we move throughout the afternoon. Again, there is more rain on the way, and once it gets here, it's pretty much locked in for the rest of the evening and on into the overnight hours, on into early tomorrow morning as well. I'm not really concerned about freezing overnight, not concerned about black ice, not really concerned about any more freezing rain because our temperatures are going to stay pretty much locked into these mid and upper 30s. Watch, even as we move into tonight and there's more rain on the way, we're just sort of hovering around 34, 35, 36 all night long and into early tomorrow morning. So that's going to keep us free of any freezing or black ice concerns tonight and tomorrow. Just a lot of cold rain on the way. I'll tell you, though, this is going to finish off likely with a round of very heavy rain in the overnight hours and pre-dawn hours of your Thursday. So this is could be heavy enough rain where it wakes you up from your sleep a little bit early. Of course, I do think it's out of here by sunrise tomorrow. We're hoping for that. There could be a couple of showers left over for your morning commute, but I think the majority of our rain is gone by then. Clouds for the morning, and then as we move into lunchtime, into the afternoon, I say we have a partly cloudy sky coming back. And it should be pretty comfortable, although a little windy to finish off your Thursday. So, like I mentioned, a lot of us already had about 2 inches of rain. Folks on the western side of the Piedmont, a little more around an inch, but I think we still have about an inch, maybe more than that, to go as we move throughout tonight and into early tomorrow morning. And a lot of it depends on where those heavier bands of rain set up. There could be some folks that pick up another 1.5 inches or maybe 2 inches. So we'll keep you posted on that. For the rest of your Wednesday, again, keep the rain gear close by. I wouldn't put it down for very long and dress warm. Temperatures stay locked into the 30s and we'll have more of that rain on the way. I think you have a break between now and maybe 1 o'clock. So head out to lunch, maybe walk the dog, run a couple of errands if you're trying to not get so wet. But there is more on the way, and it really arrives once again once we get into about 2 and 3 o'clock. Tonight, rain continues. Have you heard that story before? We'll dip down into the mid-30s, but stay above freezing, so no freezing concern again overnight. And again, some of that rain could be quite heavy at times as we get into the overnight hours and early tomorrow morning. There's the rest of your 7-day. I know you'll see more rain in the forecast. We get a little bit of a break though for tomorrow afternoon and then another break for Friday for your Valentine's Day. I think Friday is going to be a nice day of weather, good day to celebrate, a lovely forecast if you will. Sunshine's back. It's comfortably cool. What we would expect anyway for Valentine's Day and for February. Temperatures in the mid and upper 40s. Once we get into the weekend, the chilly air hangs around for Saturday. We'll bring some rain back into the forecast as another cold front approaches us. So be ready for scattered rain. It may be a little tough to do some outdoor plans for Saturday. We'll fine tune that forecast as we get a little bit closer. You know, one thing at a time. We've been busy here. For Sunday, scattered rain continues. There could even be a few thunderstorms in the afternoon as that cold front pushes through. And I think right ahead of that front, we're able to jump up into the low 60s for high temperatures on Sunday. We go into next week and looking at the longer range forecast, I think cold air is going to be here for the majority of next week. I'm not so sure we'll make it up to around 60 at all next week. We'll start out dry, mid 40s for Monday, upper 40s for Tuesday, and once we move into the later part of next week, I expect we'll have at least another shot of some rain somewhere in the mix, but we will stay chilly. That's your forecast. That's your update for now. Keep checking back with us on WFMY Plus. You can check with us all the time, WFMYnews2.com, and you can download our free News 2 weather app so that you're always in the know. You can track along with live interactive radar right there, just like we see it in the weather department here, and we'll keep you posted. Stay dry and stay warm. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday.